So I've just finished the toe and I'm getting ready to do what's called a Kitchener stitch join. It's a grafting join. I have these live stitches from the sock, and now I'm going to join them to the stitches from the toe, and it makes for a very nice seam. It's actually no seam. So right here is the Kitchener stitch. You can just barely see it's got a little bit of an indent in it where the toe meets the sock, but it makes for a really nice toe, so I don't mind doing a Kitchener stitch there. And I do the Kitchener stitch on the bottom of the foot, so you can't feel it at all. So we're going to start doing Kitchener stitch because, you know, people want to know how to do that. So I'm going to do what's called a Kitchener stitch, and we're going to join these two seams together so that you can't see a seam. So I'm going to cut my yarn, and I want to make sure I leave enough yarn. So what I usually do to make sure I have enough is I kind of go back and forth 4 times. So here's my tail, and I go across the stitches, not real tight, across the stitches once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. I want to leave a long enough tail that I won't run out of yarn while I'm sewing this particular Kitchener join. This is Kitchener done for stockinette, okay? Because stockinette means this side is the knitted side, this is the pretty side, the inside is purl side. So whenever you're doing, this is the way to do Kitchener when you're working with stockinette. It's a little different when you're working garter stitch, but I'm going to show you stockinette Kitchener. Silence! Okay, so what you're doing here is I'm joining these 2 sets of live stitches. I'm going to join them together in such a way that it will look like they've been knitted together, so you won't see a seam. So we're going to scooch all of our stitches. This one's a little tight. We're going to scooch all of our stitches up here to the tip of the needles. I put my finger in between. I'm going to make sure my focus is in the right spot. There we go. My yarn is coming off of this back stitch. Okay? So there, my yarn is coming off the back. I use a big fat darning needle that has a big enough eye that the yarn can go through it, and you have to do a little bit of a setup row before you actually start doing the actual Kitchener. Kitchener stitch is done in 4 steps. Just as a, this is how I do it. I never stop Kitchener stitch in the middle of the 4 steps. I only stop at the end of step 4. So if the phone rings, if somebody's gagging and I need to tend to it, I don't stop until I finish step 4. So we're going to do a setup row here first. The setup row is I'm going to go into the front stitch, this very first stitch. I go into the stitch as if to purl. So I'm going down into the stitch, and I pull that through. And then the back stitch, I'm going to go into the back stitch. Hang on. I'm going to go into the back stitch, there we go, as if to knit. So I go into that stitch as if to knit, and I pull it through. So those are my two stitches to set everything up. Into this stitch as if to purl, into this stitch as if to knit. Now we're ready to do the actual Kitchener. Alright, you kind of get into a little rhythm when you're doing Kitchener stitch, so this is what we're going to do. Front stitch as if to knit and pull it off, then go into the next stitch as if to purl. Then we go into the back stitch as if to purl and pull it off, and then we're going to knit, go into the stitch as if to knit. So that right there was the 4 steps, and I'll do it a couple times and I'll do it much slower. But we're going to be going into each stitch back and forth, back and forth. Sometimes we go into it as if to knit, and sometimes we go into it as if to purl. So step 1 is going into the front stitch as if to knit, and we're going to pull the stitch off the needle. We let that one drop off. That's step 1. Step 2 is going into the next stitch as if to purl and leave it on the needle. Step 3 is coming back here on the back and going in as if to purl and pulling it off. And step 4 is going into the back stitch as if to knit. So those are the 4 steps. So again, I would only stop at this point to go do something else. So then I know when I sit back down where I left off and where I need to start. The front, knit off, purl. The back, purl off, knit. That's the little chant. That's the chant I use. The front, knit off, purl, purl off, knit. That's the 4 steps, and I'll do it again. The front, you're going to go into the stitch as if to knit and take it off. Then you go into the next stitch as if to purl and leave it on. It's not complicated, it's just confusing. Then the back, you're going to go into the stitch as if to purl and take it off, and then go into the next stitch as if to knit. And I'll do a couple more, and then when I tighten it, you're going to see how good that join looks. Front is knit off, purl. The back is purl off, knit. Front is knit off, purl, and the back is purl off, knit. And there's just not an easy way of remembering. It's just that I've done this stitch so many times when I made my blanket that I've got it in my head now. The difference between a mattress stitch and this one is a huge difference. So now I'm going to tighten these stitches up. I finished step 4, and I'm going to tighten these stitches up, and I'm going to show you what this join looks like. So I'm just going to pull on this, pinch where it's starting, and then I pull, and that tightens it. Would you use this stitch for in a blanket? I did for my Persian dreams. So let me show you what this join is looking like. Can you see the join? Let me get my focus to be right up here. You can barely, if at all, see. It just looks like a continuous knitting right where the seam is. The seam is right here, right where my fingernail is. That's the seam. And that's the beauty of this stitch, is it is totally invisible. It looks knitted. It looks like I'm knitting the top to the bottom. Yep. You're doing this right side out, correct? It's not inside. Yeah, I'm doing the right side is facing me. The wrong side is on the inside. So again, we'll start it again. All right, so my yarn is coming off the back stitch. I'm going to go into the front stitch. Here's the little 4 steps. Step 1 is you go into the front stitch as if to knit, and you pull it off the needle. Then you go into the second stitch as if to purl. That's step 2. Step 3 is go into the back as if to purl and pull it off. Then you go into the next stitch in the back as if to knit. That's step 4. So here, step 1 is knit off. Step 2 is purl. Step 3 is the back needle, purl and off. Step 4 is knit. Alright, so we're going to get going here in a little bit of a rhythm. Knit, off, purl. We're going to end that one with a purl. The one thing when you're doing Kitchener stitch 2 is you kind of have to watch when you're doing all this back and forth. You don't want to get the yarn looped around here because that'll mess you up. Purl, off, knit, knit, off, purl. I'm going to look at chat here in 1 minute. Purl, off, knit. And I only stop after I've done step 4, so I just finished step 4. And then I'm going to stop and I'm going to pull my yarn tight. I pinch the beginning here because I don't want the thing to get too tight. And I pull, and that tightens up the knitting. And then we're going to take a look at the seam. And again, it just looks like knitting. Alright guys, so that's how you do Kitchener stitch. You continue that rhythm all the way to the end, and when you get to the very last stitch, I tie a knot and I put the yarn inside the sock and then I weave in the end.